I thought I would do a video kind of giving you an update as to how things are going. Okay, as you know, back at the very end of December, my husband got a promotion, so we were hoping to be moved by now. My husband has moved. He moved the last day in January. He's renting a place and working at the job. However, the kids and I are still here. We go up on the weekends, almost every weekend. It's about a 4.5-hour trip, but one way. So we go up about 3 out of the 4 weekends a month, and we'll go up there and we'll look for property. We'll spend from Friday to Monday up there, and today's Monday, and we just drove back. So I am tired, but anyhow, okay, our house hunting is not going good up there. We have looked at dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of places. We've looked inside of several. We have, there's been several on our list that we wanted to look at, so we've driven by them and then crossed them off our list for whatever reason. We've looked at houses, at bare ground, and, in hopes of building. They're just, none of them are home. None of them give a feeling of home. We are very excited about moving up there. We feel so, still feel so comfortable with that decision, and it's one that God completely led us to. But He hasn't showed us the house yet, and we are anxious to be together again, but we are trying to take our time, because we hope that this place that we choose, whether we build or buy a house, that it is the place we live at for the rest of our lives. So we really want God to show us the right one. So we're just, trying to take our time and be patient. But it is like the middle of March right now, and we still haven't found a place. But up there, it's really hard to find a place. It's a great area, but you really have 2 choices for living. There's other little places here and there, but you mainly have 2 big options. You can either live in town, with close neighbors or in a subdivision, which is not how we are. We just can't do that. Or you can own hundreds of acres and have like cattle farming. That is the big deal up there, is cattle farming, which is great. I love cows. But, we can't afford hundreds of acres. So, for a smaller, just little family farm, 20 acres, you can't really find it. It's just this weekend, we've been looking for many months now, and even before he got the promotion, we were looking, because we knew that God had told us it was coming up sometime. We just didn't know when. So we've kind of keep an eye out for the past few years, actually. But we have looked so long, and there's no, a few acres for sale. There's just not. But this weekend, we found 2. We found one that was 28 acres. Oh, it's so beautiful. But it's just too far. It's still an option, but it's just too far. I don't think it would work. Anyhow, and then another one. The land was nice, but it was surrounded by people. I mean, no one could see us, but just knowing that they were there, I didn't like that. Anyhow, so that is how our moving situation is going. We are going up pretty much every weekend, looking, not having any success. He's up there, we're still here. All of our stuff is still here. Let's see. We had Christmas, and the day after Christmas, we tore our bathroom apart, because this house that we're in, we bought it, 3.5, 4 years ago almost, and it needed a complete gutting of everything, and we did. Well, my husband did. Gutted everything out of it, just left the roof and the 4 exterior walls, and redone everything. But, except for the bathroom and laundry room, we didn't do that. we ran out of time. So after he got, the day after Christmas, he tore the bathroom out and completely redone the bathroom. Completely. And that took a few weeks, with him working his job and his side job, so, kind of taking some time to get the bathroom done. So we spent a few weeks on the bathroom, got that done. Excuse me. And then there was some little minor things, around the house we needed to do. Got that done. And I went through all kinds of stuff. We went through clothes and toys and books and curriculum, all kinds of stuff outside, sold as much as we could. Like, we sold his dozer. Oh my goodness, that dozer thing, that was really neat. I want to tell you about that. Okay, so let's see. The day my husband found out about his job, they called him and they're like, hey, you're offered this job. If you want it, take it. So my husband, he took the job. Well, that night, I was doing dishes in the kitchen, and he was talking to me, and he said, so we need to decide if we're going to sell the dozer or not, because it would cost several $100s to have it hauled up 4.5 hours away, because it'd have to be a special, special trailer and all that, because it's a dozer. It's really heavy. Anyhow, and I said, well, if we're going to build a house, then we need to keep it, but if we're going to buy a house, then we don't need it. Well, we were still having that conversation, and someone knocked on the door. So my husband went to the door to check it out. A total stranger. We had never seen him before. And he said, I was driving by and I saw your dozer, and I was curious if you wanted to sell it. We could not believe it. And, so my husband took his name and number and said, well, I'll think about it. And so for a few days we thought about it and decided to go ahead and sell it. And it was that guy that bought it. And that was just like another sign from God. We were having that conversation, hadn't even finished that conversation, and God gave us that sign. He's like, here, this is the guy that's going to buy it, because this is what you need to do. It was just amazing. Anyhow, and there were several other things like that, but they're a little bit smaller, but, many other things like that happened that was just totally of God. Okay, so we've sold our chickens. I know. So we have no chickens now. Got rid of the chickens, the chicken house, the rabbit houses, many other things. We just have a cat left, which we're keeping him, so sorry. Anyhow, I guess. So yeah, we've gotten rid of a lot of stuff. We have not. There's some things that I don't use every day inside the house that I have went ahead and packed up and put away, like in a storage building type thing. But for the pretty much everything is still out. Like our classroom, we haven't packed any of it up. My dishes are all still there. Everything is still here. And that is because the company my husband works for, this is so great. Since we're moving 4.5 hours away, they are going to come in and pack us. Like they're going to bring boxes and bubble wrap, and they are going to take their hand and pack our stuff. That is so cool. I am so excited about that, because I don't have to pack. I don't mind unpacking, but packing, I'm like, throw it in a box. If it makes it, it makes it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I don't have patience for packing. But even if we did, we were told that even if we went ahead and packed our stuff, that once they come in to move the boxes, they will unpack everything and repack it for their own liability, so they can make sure that nothing was broken, before it was put in the box, and that way we can't blame them. So that's why we're not packing. Okay. So since we are moving, another thing that we have got accomplished is all the positions that my husband and I had at church, we were able to find people to replace those, so that's good. Another position that I had outside of the home, I was able to get someone else to take over for that. So I just have, homeschool and life and stuff like that, which is kind of nice. But spending, 3.5, 4 days away from home through the week, pretty much every week, that kind of makes things a little rough. And for our schoolwork, we're not doing 5 days a week, more like 3 days. We're doing what we can when we can. We're doing okay, but yeah, I think our school year is not going to end in April like usual. In fact, I'm just hoping we'll have our hours in by the end of May, but I don't know. But we'll see. Hang on. Okay, sorry about that. So yes, I am just hoping that we will be done by the end of May. Okay, let's see. So, since our move is not going quite as quickly as we had originally hoped, what does that mean for my channel? Well, I have decided that there are still many videos that I do want to do, but I was just thinking that I'd have to wait, until I got moved and settled, because I thought this would just happen right away. Well, it's not. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to do videos, when I can. I do have one that I'm going to try to make right after this one, because it was requested about a month ago, I think. And it's about some music books. So I'm going to try to make that one right after I get done with this one. And there's just a couple others that I would like to do before we do move, for sure, because of how I have things set up here in this current classroom. Our next place, who knows what it'll be. We may not have a classroom, or it may have a completely different setup. But so as far as videos go, instead of just waiting until we are moved and settled, I will just make videos when I can and if I can. But, it will be kind of hard, because we are only home about 3 or 4 days through the week, each week. And even during that, we still have church, and I'm still going to the chiropractor, and, regular life stuff. So I'll do what I can. But, let's see. Oh, something else, another update that's been going on, and this, I'm not going to do a video on this. I'm not going to talk about it in this video, because it's pretty long, but just a heads up, I may do another video about it, I don't know. But since the very beginning of February, I have been doing a lot of research and thinking and taking my time with this, but I think, and I'm pretty sure, that we are going to be changing our homeschool approach. But I might do that in a whole other video. It's a pretty neat, well, I think it's neat and very interesting how this has all came about. It's too long to talk about in this video, but in the meantime, if you are interested in us changing our homeschool approach, I did write about it on my blog, website, I don't know what you call it, precioushomeschool.com. It's a 2-part post, part 1 and part 2, and it's titled, Am I Changing My Homeschool Approach? And I'll put a link in the description box to that if you want to read about it. But anyhow, it's all there. But, well, I guess that's it. I'm sure there's something else I should mention, but I don't know. So if you have any questions, just ask, and thank you for watching.